A very good morning to Madam Ziraiza and all my friends. Today, our group, Atira, Arisha, and I, Tanxing from U6, are going to present on TSLB 3243 Children and Literacy, Task 1, Part 1, Material Production. Start from lesson plan. The subject is on English. Year 4 Emerald. Enrollment is 23/23. Date is on 25th of September 2020. The time is on 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The theme is on World of Stories. The topic is on Unit 8, The Prince and the Thieves. The level is Advanced Year 4. The focus skills are reading and speaking skills, while the integrated skill is language art. The previous knowledge that pupils need to have is they should already familiar with some of the vocabulary that they use in their daily lives and nursery rhymes. The content standard, including 1.1, able to pronounce words and speak confidently with correct stress, rhythm, and intonation. 2.2, able to demonstrate understanding of variety of linear and non-linear text in the form of print and non-print materials using a range of strategies to construct meaning. While 4.2, pupils are able to express personal response to literary text. The learning standards are 1.1.3, able to listen and recite poems, tongue twisters, and sing songs, paying attention to pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. 2.2.4, able to apply dictionary skills, which is to locate words. 4.2.1, able to respond to literary text, which is characters. The learning objectives are, by the end of lesson, pupils should be able to read a printed text aloud using correct pronunciation and suitable intonation, state at least 2 synonyms of each adjective learned, to complete a crossword puzzle using the clues given, to construct dialogues using the adjectives found in the crossword puzzle. The vocabulary pupils will learn are blue, magical, responsible, long, rich, poor, evil, beautiful, loving, and huge. The educational emphasis is on language, and the moral values is to be yourself and not to be greedy. The thinking skills integrated are generating ideas, problem solving, making judgment, predictions, and decisions. The multiple intelligences are verbal linguistic, interpersonal, musical, and visual. The resources or teaching aid used are the pictures of Aladdin, which includes the characters, the script of Aladdin, the lyrics of Aladdin's song, instrumental music of Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and a crossword puzzle. So the first phase is set induction. This is the lesson plan of the set induction phase. Set induction has 5 minutes. It is to raise pupils' interest through a set of pictures of characters of Aladdin using PowerPoint slides. These are the questions that the teacher should ask the pupils. Have you watched Aladdin before? Who is Aladdin? Who are the main characters in Aladdin? And what is the color of the character's outfit? The teaching and learning activities are the teacher shows the pictures of characters involved in Aladdin to his pupils, and the teacher will encourage pupils to describe the features of the characters using these questions, so it will guide the pupils to answer the questions. And teacher will ask leading questions about the story to the pupils to help them out in sharing their opinions and thoughts with the whole class. So using these questions, pupils will need to apply their learned adjectives to describe the characters or their outfit. Then, the teacher will give feedback and guidance appropriately. The remarks for this set induction phase is, this is a preparation phase, and the pupils will analyze the characters using their outfits from their outer appearances. And the educational emphasis is on thinking skills, which is to generate ideas. The multiple intelligences is verbal linguistics because they will need to express their ideas in verbal form. The teaching aid is PowerPoint slides that contains pictures of characters in Aladdin. So this is the activity of set induction that I mentioned earlier. This is a clearer form. For the materials for the induction phase is the PowerPoint slides of the characters of Aladdin. So as you can see, the background of the PowerPoint slides is the setting of the palace, so which fits these two characters, which are Aladdin and Jasmine, because while Aladdin disguised as Prince Ali, he lives in a palace, and Jasmine is a princess, so she does lives in the palace. The rest of the two characters, which are Genie and Jafar, the background is the city of Agrabah. And you can see there's a contrast between the characters and the background. So pupils can relate the characters with the place that they are living. For example, when teachers ask the questions about what is the color of Jasmine's outfit, and pupils will need to answer, Jasmine's outfit is blue in color.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Atira binti Zulkifli. I'm from U6. For today's presentation, I'm going to present for task 1, part 2, which is oral presentation based on the lesson plan that we already did during part 1 material production. My group members for this task are Nur Arisha Akila binti Ismail and Tan Shiying. Alright. For today oral presentation, I'm in charge stage 2 presentation and stage 3 practice. Now let's begin with stage 2 presentation first. The content that we're going to focus during presentation stage is to elicit verbal communication from pupils. During presentation stage, the activity that we choose to teach literacy skills are reading aloud and print awareness. So we combine this activity and create one activity that focuses on reading aloud and print awareness. Now I'm going to explain step by step on how to conduct this activity. Firstly, teacher distributes scripts to pupils. This is the scripts that the teacher will going to hand out to every pupils, and then the teacher chooses a few pupils to read the script aloud according to the chosen characters. Based on the script that we choose, the adapted script of Aladdin from scene 11. So based on the Aladdin's adapted script, there are 4 pages that contain dialogues only and 7 pages that contain lyrics only. Therefore, I strongly recommend the teacher to choose different pupils to read every page aloud in front of the class. For example, for the first page that contains all dialogues, the teacher choose a group of pupils, and then the teacher assign the characters to each of them, right? And then for the next page, the teacher choose another pupils, so that every pupils in the class will get opportunity to read the script aloud in front of the class, and they also can improve their speaking skills. During the reading aloud activity, the pupils have to be aware on their pronunciation, their intonation, stress and rhythm. And then lastly, teacher gives feedback and guidance appropriately. The teacher, whenever the pupils read the script with wrong pronunciation, the teacher has to correct them so that they will not pronounce the particular words wrongly in the future. Okay. For the remarks, the imagination phase is generating ideas. For educational emphasis, there are two. The first one is intensive reading, and for multiple intelligence, we focus on verbal linguistic because the pupils have to read the script aloud in front of the class. And the teaching aids during presentation stage is simplified drama script of Aladdin from scene 11. Before I move on to the materials for presentation stage, I want to stress that during this stage, the activity that we choose to teach literacy skills, there are two. First one is reading aloud, and second one is print awareness. Why it is reading aloud? Because it requires pupils to read the script aloud according to the chosen characters. And why it is print awareness? Because the teacher distributes the script to the pupils, right? So they will learn on how to read the text in a correct way, which is they have to start read the text from left to the right. Okay, so now move on to the materials for presentation stage. It is Aladdin adapted script from scene 11. This is the script that the teacher are going to distribute to every pupils. This is the lyrics of the song and the dialogues, the lyrics again, and the dialogue and lyrics. Okay. Now I'm going to explain stage 3, which is practice. During practice stage, there are two content that we focus on. Firstly, to elicit and generate pupils' understanding about adjectives by highlighting it from the script, and then to test pupils' ability to list the synonym for each adjective found. During practice stage, the activity that we're going to conduct, it is a pair work activity. So, how to conduct this activity? Firstly, teacher instructs pupils to highlight the adjectives from the given scripts in pairs. For example, this is the one that I already highlight from my script. They have to highlight. They can use either highlighters or color pen and color pencils, so that it will be easier for them to detect the adjectives that they found in the script. Second, teacher allocates time for pupils to highlight all the adjectives. After that, pupils have to list down all the adjectives that they found in the script in their workbook. After that, teacher writes down all the adjectives identified by pupils on the whiteboard. After all of the pupils already list down the adjective in their workbook, and then they have to, each pairs need to say their adjective that they found in the script, so that the teacher will write down on the whiteboard, because every pupils can see the answers. And the fifth step, teacher conducts a short brainstorming session to list out the synonyms for each adjective, for each identified adjective. After that, when the teacher already lists down the adjective on the whiteboard, the teacher need to make sure that each adjective, they have to find at least 2 synonyms. Okay. After that, during the short brainstorming session, if there are pupils that don't understand the meaning of the word, the teacher has to explain the meaning of it. Either the teacher can explain it verbally or refer to the dictionary. And lastly, teacher gives feedback and guidance when necessary. Okay, so for the remarks during practice stage, the action phase is implementation, and for educational emphasis, it is thinking skill, which are make judgment and decisions and generate ideas. For multiple intelligences, it is verbal, linguistic, and interpersonal, since it is a pair activity, so it requires pupils to discuss with their partners in finding adjectives in the given scripts. The teaching aids during practice stage, it is adapted script of Aladdin from scene 11, and it is practice stage is assessment of learning objectives 1 pair work, because practice stage it requires pair work activity.
Assalamualaikum and hello, my name is Nur Arisha Akila binti Ismail from U6. Now I'm going to take over to the last two steps from the lesson plan. So for the fourth part, which is the production part, we decided to focusing more on the spelling activity, and that is why we decided to choose a crossword puzzle as the main activity for this part. I'm going to explain on how this activity during production step works. So first of all, the teacher has to make sure to take note that this activity needs to be carried out as pair work instead of individual work. So the first step ever, the teacher gets the pupils into pairs first, and then after that the teacher has to distribute a crossword puzzle to every pair, meaning that one crossword puzzle will be completed by two pupils at the same time. They have to work together to complete that one crossword puzzle, and then they have to make sure that they refer to the clues given in the same worksheet, in the same crossword puzzle paper, because we already insert like 10 clues in there for them to refer to in order for them to complete the whole crossword puzzle. Then after that, the teacher has to instruct those pupils to choose two words found in the puzzle and form short dialogues. So every pair will have to choose two words from the puzzle and they have to form short dialogues. For example, I choose the word blue and my partner choose the word huge. So I will say it this way: look at that blue house, that is my grandma's house. And then my friend will say, wow, your grandma's house is huge. Okay, so that's how the short dialogues is going to happen. For these dialogues, they don't have to create a long scenario, they don't have to create a long conversation. They just have to use simple sentences according to their own level, and after that they have to act out their own dialogues in front of the class. Of course, due to the time constraint, the teacher can choose only a few pairs to act out their dialogues in front of the class. And then, of course, again, the teacher has to give feedback and guidance accordingly so that the pupils know when or how they're going to improve themselves, their speaking skills or their working skills or their group work skills. Here is the crossword puzzle that I mentioned previously. So as you can see at the bottom of the paper, there are 10 sentences provided there. These all 10 sentences are actually clues that can be used by the pupils to figure out the answers and to complete the crossword puzzle. 4 sentences are for vertical words and another 6 are for the horizontal words. So they have to work together to figure out the answer. And the answers that they need, the words that they need to fill in the blanks are actually adjectives. Okay, so it can be quite easy for them to figure out the answers, especially they work together in pairs, right? Okay, so after they already fill in the blanks, here comes the part in which their spelling skills are going to be tested, because they have to fill in letter by letter in the crossword puzzle in order for them to complete the crossword puzzle. So they have to figure out the right spelling for each word or adjectives for them to complete the puzzle. After they already completed the puzzle, then they will start to carry out the creating dialogue activity, in which I already explained previously. Now we have reached the last step, which is the closure part. Since the closure part is like the ending of the lesson, we want to make something happening, we want to make something that the pupils can enjoy while doing it. So we decided to choose a rhyme activity in which we're going to use an Aladdin song for the pupils to sing along together. So now I'm going to explain how exactly the teacher has to do in order for he or her to carry out this activity in the class. So the very first step is the teacher has to show the lyrics of the Aladdin song to the pupils, and the teacher has to use a PowerPoint slide for he to display the lyrics to the pupils. And then the second one, the teacher has to explain that the song has to be sung in the same melody as a nursery rhyme, a very famous nursery rhyme entitled Old MacDonald Had a Farm. So the pupils will not have any problem to sing this song because they're already familiar with the nursery rhyme, right? So the next one, the pupils have to sing the song together with the teacher while clapping along to the rhythm. And then after they're done every single step, the teacher has to conclude the lesson. Now I'm going to demonstrate to all of you on how to sing this Aladdin song in the classroom with the pupils. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Aladdin was a poor man, E-I-E-I-O. He had no money to buy land, E-I-E-I-O. We say hoo here, we say hoo there, here who, there who, everywhere hoo. Aladdin was a poor man, E-I-E-I-O. So that's how the teachers and the pupils can sing the song together in the classroom. As for the other stanzas, it can be followed with the same intonation, with the same rhythm, with the same melody as how I already sang just now. I think that's all from us for now. Thank you for watching our video. So stay safe, stay healthy, be happy wherever you are, and stay at home, of course, and have a nice day. Thank you.